All right, are you guys awake? Doing pretty good? Super. All right, so we'll get into some conversation here and set up for our time. For me, this has been a long journey and I am not done. I know that. Like I said, 20 years in teaching now, which is kind of hard to believe. It's a pretty neat feeling to have all of that background, and I've been kind of jumping all over in that. Got married, moved about 5 different states, lived in an RV, lived in horse trailers, property. It's like a lot of jumping around. Of course, was a Preli instructor for 14 of those years. And for me, I'm so thankful that I was able to start this knowledge when I was young, because I had a connection and understanding with what I was doing in the horses early on. And one of the points I made with myself is to never lose that. What I had as a kid, bringing it forward into what I'm doing as an adult. So I have spent a lot of time, thinking and being aware of that and what that means. And, really didn't intend to teach. I wanted to do horses, colt starting, development, stuff like that, and just kind of ended up with an instructorship from Pat and found myself doing it, going, I don't even think I should be doing this. I have no education to do this. So I merely hope the people that were, could be my parents, basically in age, wanted to learn from me, because that's about all I had. So it's been very interesting. The information I'm going to be sharing with you this time is, of course, an accumulation of all of that time in history. And my desire to continue to research the behind-the-scenes elements, the mystery of feel and higher-level connection and how it all works. And by no means have I answered all of those questions, but I think over time I've developed a pretty interesting series of dots that seem to connect in a very unique way. So you'll get a big part of that. No class is ever the same. I'll tell you that, no matter how much I've tried to formulate it, it's never the same. And I think that coincides with how horses are. They're never the same. And we're really never the same. From time to time, day to day, there's always little shifts and changes. And that's how life is. Like the saying, you can't jump in the same river twice. It's just how it is. It's always shifting and evolving and growing and releasing. So, I like to teach that way. And I've learned a lot from the horses. You have to be flexible and fluid to, really gain access to what they have to share. So some of the information you're getting from this time is going to be new. Those of you that have even been with me before won't recognize it. It's pieces that I've put together, and things somehow keep connecting other things. And then about the time I think, okay, that's probably a pretty good amount of information, something else will connect. And then that information shifts. So not that I'm changing my base foundation, but I'm adding elements to it that I think are highly valuable to complement it. My background, some of you said dressage, that's definitely a focal point for me. I grew up in the show world, show jumping, didn't have a dressage training background at all, but I always loved it. I watched the Olympics every year, drooling, torturing my horse with why can't you do piaffe today, and trying to figure all this stuff out. So I love that feeling, and I love the jumping.
Video. Huh? You have to show them the video too.
Okay.
On everything.
Yeah. That's so funny. So, and then, of course, went the route with natural horsemanship, and actually at some points felt like I was losing some of the pieces that I had that were so great. As far as my riding goes, I was a very good rider. I had no problem doing jumping, all kinds of stuff, and I would things would change and shift. I'd be like, what's that? Where's that confidence, or where's that feel that I had? So, along the way, questioning. It's like big thing for me is the why behind something, and then when I have that answer, I want to know more about that answer. So I like to dig under rocks and stones and find stuff out. And I also have research outside of myself that involves books and some videos, but I'm very, very particular about what I see and what I put in my mind, because I don't want to just do a stamp of what someone else is doing. Mm-hmm. I want to find it for myself and also honor the horse. So the horse has been absolutely my strongest teacher. I go to them with most of this stuff. And a lot of the beginning points we're going to talk about, those points are something that I worked with the horses on. I'm not copying the information. Places that I have used other people's information, I will tell you I'm using that. So that's fair, right? Mm-hmm. If it's not mine, it isn't mine. But if it's something that I've developed because of the pieces I've put together, I want you to know what that is. So I just try to honor that because I feel like that's respectable. And that's part of the reason I didn't renew my Pirelli license, because I was teaching a mix and I couldn't do that to Pat. That's not respectable to him. So it wasn't a bad thing with Pirelli. It was just that I went, I really want to explore over here, and I can't wear the Pirelli hat and go, yeah, but we're going to do this, because that isn't fair. So, no bad things there, just kind of what happened. And it really was nice. It gave me the freedom to explore, not feel like I was doing anything against someone. And I had a great time with that and continue to. So the kind of beginning foundation concepts that I've written down for you that you'll have here in a minute, that's about 8 years old or so. So those pieces are not new, but I'm adding a couple in. And you guys are going to be exploring that with me here during this week. So it's going to be exciting because there's some new pieces and you guys get to help me explore it, which I think we're all part of the development, right? We're part of the information. And I think that's when it's more than just one person doing it, it has an influence that just floats and it becomes bigger than we are, bigger than I am. And the influence goes out because you'll probably touch somebody with that information. They'll probably talk to somebody and we just make it all better. Better for the horses, better for the people. So, I'm very much interested in that community, and I think we have the access to do that. So it's exciting to me. This information is coming from a place that I'm going to give you here in a minute that really there was still a question of really, truly, where does this natural, innate feel, this place that you just know what to do. You know how to help, you know how long to be there, you know when to quit. You know what strategy to use. I continue to be interested in that. How do we gain access to that knowledge base? Because nobody's telling me what to do. I'm discovering it for myself. I think Pat did a lot of that. I think Ray Hunt did a lot of that. I think Dorrance did it. The other trainers that maybe they've had mentors for sure, but they had somehow a connection with understanding for themselves. This is what I need to do. So what is that? What is that place? Do you have any ideas? Because it's not just experience.
My thought about that is feel and timing are the critical elements, and what I've always said is they're not really teachable directly.
Right.
You can only put someone in a situation and hope they find a piece of it.
Swim, Johnny, swim. Yeah, absolutely.
Self-discovery, for sure.
It's self-discovery, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is the question, how do you know when you're doing the right thing?
Where's the place that the information comes from? The little
Or
whisper,
probably
the little,
your
hey,
gut.
do that.
Yeah.
Your instincts.
Well, isn't it what the feedback you get from the horse though? That you know that you're
That's
doing the right
secondary.
thing?
Yes, yes.
But you had to do that in the first place.
You had to
get that.
have the
How did you
information
do
first. I know.
Just talking about this really gets me excited.
It's like, what is that spot? And I'm not saying I found it, but there's things here that are very interesting to me, so I have to pass them on because I share. I can't help it. I'm a
Thank you.
sharesy person, mostly. Well, there's some things I might not share. Let me look around here. But mostly.
Horses.
Yeah, don't touch. Yeah.
Don't even look.
I know. So this, what if you think about it can we get back to a childhood experience where childhood or maybe young adult where you had, see Carol, this is called a pause moment. It must have been necessary. I know. Are we done?
Not quite.
Is that a long enough pause? Okay, so connect with the experience that you had where, and it doesn't even have to maybe be youthful. Maybe it was just something where you were guided by something. You felt it. You went, that's what I need to do. And it wasn't a big, drawn-out thought process at all. But there was just, I bet you've had a time in your life where something went, Can you feel that feeling?
Oh, yeah. Now I know what you're saying.
It's a place of happiness for sure. For me.
There's like, oh.
There's that awe moment, that,
Mm-hmm.
wow,
Maybe
I
it's-
can do that. And
Yeah.
you're with it.
Right.
You get a sense of peace when you find that This is it.
Yep,
Because you're not questioning it anymore.
right. Somehow you don't question it.
It's
It's very interesting. Yeah, it's like, I've had this many times.
Plays into confidence, and where do you, how do you get confidence? What's the old saying of, how do you get good judgment or experience, and how do you get experience? Bad judgment.
Right, exactly. I think I have that on the side. Yeah. So can you get synchronized with that feeling again? So you can go, I'm going to relive that right now like I was in it. Where does it originate in your body? Can you feel it? Do you have is there any detection, any hint? It's kind of in your belly. Just curious.
Right in here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, in the gut.
Mm-hmm. I know. It's kind of like, what is that? Yeah, but it's kind of at the same. Oh, but at the same time, it's kind of, I don't know. That's kind of weird, right? But I think we all have this.
Yeah.
We use it in different ways.
I can tell you where it's not.
I like the way you think. Tell me where it's not.
It's not in your thinking conscious mind.
Ah, the brain is not involved in that moment. I
The
mean, of course you're
unconscious
still
brain.
alive, but yes.
The unconscious part of the brain.
Right.
Might be, but
So
not
that's
the conscious.
interesting. I would also feel the same thing. So we have some things to connect with here, because that place, when people really get, and I watch a lot of people every year over the last, especially the last 10 years, I've watched a lot of people teaching, 8 to 12 groups every month. I'm teaching maybe 3 or 4 clinics in that month. And you guys do a lot of weird stuff. I'm just like, wow. I have so many experiences in my mind of situations that happen. It is incredibly varied. I don't think I have ever seen anyone in those thousands of experiences do anything the same.
So your book
It's
would be
incredible.
titled, Where Did That Come From?
Huh? Yes, exactly. So, but when I find that people have connected with whatever this is that we're talking about, they have a feel and a timing and a balance that you cannot teach. It's organically in their system, and it's perfect for the scenario. It works for them, it works for the horse, and there's an understanding. And then any information you add in is only going to bloom the situation. It only makes it better or more guidable or clarity or adjustable. It's just there. So these kind of places, I'm always curious about how stuff works, and is it something that, like what you said, where it's not really teachable? Well, when I first kind of went into some of this stuff teaching, I went, I don't think I can tell people it's going to take you 20 years to get good at this. I don't think I can teach they'll never come back if I say that, So I started to look for the small things that you can be in control of, you can be aware of, you can change, that are elements of having 40 years of horse experience or 80 years. What are those key points that those people gained and learned? So that's been my, kind of focus point, even though I have all of the horsemanship as far as riding and liberty and all my exercises, and let's bring the healthy biomechanics in, and let's do this and that. Really the essence of where I'm coming from isn't so much the horse training side of it, which I'm not even sure I want to use that word anymore now. But it all goes hand in glove, because we can't just have one thing without helping in the other areas too. So finding that balance. How does that sound? Cool. All right, so you all know you can feel that place. I saw it across your faces. Everybody's like, yep, I have access to it. So that's one of the biggest pieces we're going to be working on this time, among other things. All right, so a little bit about scheduling and how the flow of the class is going to go, and then we're going to look at our workbook. Okay. This is not boot camp, and this is not a hard and cut and dried clinic format. Because you're here for a week, we can give enough information and play, explore with the horse, explore and exercise yourself, come back together, talk about it, and then go out again. What I found over the years of teaching is having marathon clinic sessions with horses is not what you do at home, and it doesn't really work for the horses that well. So they go home going, I need a month of spa to even get over the 8 hours a day that we just did over that whatever time frame. So I like to mix it up a little bit and make it feel a little more like you might play at home, which is shorter sessions with either different, yeah, you agree, or the same topics, but do a little different blend. Because of that, you're in charge of your lesson time, which means if you like what's happening in 10 minutes and you put your horse away and you're finished, then that's what you do. If you're not done and you play for an hour with an exercise or a concept, then that's what you do. So you're in a big part of it, you're in charge of the timeline. And I find that to be way more effective than me not knowing any of you or what you do or what your horses do, having a set, I expect you to play for this long. So I'll give you parameters, but I'm not going to control the whole thing. You're the leader of your own horse, and you know what they know and how much would be too much. And that's how I like to set the timing up, because we have young horses here, we have mature horses here. I don't want to push anybody past what they want to do. If you're not sure, then I will help you. If you think you might want to do more, but you're not sure how to go about that, I will help you. But that's how I like to set up the class. And you're the leader of the relationship, so you have to be in charge of that. Don't give me the reins. I don't want them. I'm here to help you as the leader help your package, your relationship. I got plenty of my own stuff to take care of. I can't take care of yours too. So if we all share the responsibility and we own that, then when you go home, you're already set up for it, and you're building skills here that you can take home instead of look around when you go home and go, where's the instructor? You know, it didn't help me, so I'm guessing it mostly doesn't help us as a team. So that's how I like to set that up. That being said, there's going to be a mix. There may be some days where we do partial focus time. I'm going to be kind of fluid this week. This is all sketchy. Oh my goodness. Thank you, man. He's like, pause. They're very good. I've done this enough here now. It's funny what they'll do at certain times. So anyway, so what I may end up doing is in an afternoon, I may give a focus in the beginning of the afternoon and then let you fade into the evening as much as you want to play with. And I'll be playing with a horse, and you can watch, you can do more with your horse. So there'll be some mixtures of that going into it, one-on-one time. And I've got these really cool headsets where we're going to be able to talk as a group that you'll wear in your ear, and you can hear everybody and I can hear you. So we're going to be playing a little bit with that too. So there's, just so you know, some variety going on.
Really?
Can I tell you something? Thank you for that, because
Wonderful.
I was starting to, believe it or not, it's like, wow, so much freedom to explore. And I've never been to any clinic where I've had a whole week, okay?
Right.
And as you were talking about how things were going to go, I started actually having a little bit of anxiety, and I had to calm myself, because I was having anxiety about, well, I'll be missing things. But that little bug in the ear thing made me go, ah.
So for those of you that don't want to have a panic attack in the first couple of days, no, that's coming in. Yeah.
Well, I'm excited about having the freedom. No, I'm excited about that. But
Right,
at the
I
same
hear you.
time,
Yep.
one side of my brain is going, God, this is so wonderful. And then the other side is going, but wait, you might miss something. And
I know.
It might be something you need.
So what you just gave me an example of that's amazing is the connection with the part of you that's intuitive, and then your brain said something.
No.
Can you feel that? Like what you said? It's like that place of, I know what's going to happen. And then your brain's like, no you don't. No. And it causes stress, right?
It did cause stress.
It's not. And you know what? You're feeding into exactly where I was going to go in a few moments. So thank you for that.
I'm sorry.
No,
Jumped the gun.
it's actually perfect, because within all this information that I'm sharing with you guys, and we're going to get into, one of the key things that happened to me last year in the fall that has set the whole thing in a different direction was I'm done with stress. I'm done with it. I don't know about you guys. I can't take it anymore. And I got a pretty cool life, but I have a lot of responsibility and I have a lot of things that I'm trying to do. And it all shifted with what happened to my mom. And it was like a new light came into it. And I just went, you know what? I don't think we need to live like this anymore. And so I started really breaking stuff down. I was already kind of there anyway, because I work I travel so much, that it was just gone home, gone home, gone home. And, but I'm also seeing people over and over and over and over and over again. So I meet all these wonderful people with this dream of being with their horse and doing all this stuff. And I go, there is such a stress umbrella that all of us hold over ourselves. And so it's kind of my set into motion after everything that took place. I'm like, I'm done with it. Totally done with it. And I'm going to make shifts and changes that accommodate that focus. And if it's going to be something I change in my lifestyle, it has to be something I change in my lifestyle of teaching, because it's all hand in glove to me. I can't isolate my life and then go do and be an instructor, because this all folds into one package. So with all the stuff that I'm bringing to you, that's the environment that I'm creating here, and then I'm going to take forward, is we're not handling this very well in our world. Not to go on some political talk, because I'm not doing that, but we're not handling it very well. And if you notice the way our world is being led right now, everything is going faster, 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 faster. High-speed internet. How fast can I order this? When can I get that shipped? How fast can I get to Paris? Da, 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 you know? Everything's so fast. And our little systems are going, you know, we can't take it physically. So for me, it's just kind of perfect timing. I'm like, great, because I don't want to get on that bus, that train, whatever it is anymore. And I feel like I can influence, I can help and support, because I have contact with other people, so I have to share and offer what I can for that. So, and then my responsibility to students, but a big responsibility is these 4 legs, because they don't handle it either. They are not able to cope with our stress. I don't think they're made for it, and they don't want to be there. And there, if anything, people go, oh, good, I'm at the barn, you know? But it's like, but your stress is still with you. So a way for us to help support them, help support ourselves, other people around us. And the cool thing is the horses are motivating it. You know, I don't know what I'd be doing if I didn't have a horse. It's like gardening, you know, it's like, I have no idea. But they're such motivators. I have seen people make changes I never thought possible. Make decisions, agreements, get discipline where they didn't have discipline, get more self-respect where they didn't have it, more confidence. You know, I don't know what these guys do, but I have seen amazing things from them. So I'm going to just keep going with that focus. Sound good?
Sounds great.
Cool. You guys feeling it? No more stress, right?
I mean, it all just left. When you said it, you know, you focused on it and said, we're not doing that, it's like the whole circle here just went.
The air. Yep.